Lewis Carroll's Through the Looking Glass and Evolutionary Biology hold the secret to more dynamic, believable world building, and even more, a way to weave natural conflicts, abundant story ideas, and a dangerous sense of survival of the fittest into the very fabric of your world. Because every world is an arms race, and if your monsters, nations, and magic aren't evolving, they're flailing backwards towards extinction and obsolescence. This is the Red Queen hypothesis in world building, and it's the secret to making your world feel alive. So what is the Red Queen hypothesis? Well, in evolutionary biology, the Red Queen hypothesis says that organisms must keep evolving just to survive. Because everything else, their predators, their prey, their parasites, and their environment, is evolving too. If the rabbit gets faster, so does the fox. If a virus mutates, the host adapts. It's an endless biological arms race. The name, which I absolutely love, comes from the sequel to Alice in Wonderland, when the Red Queen says, "It takes all the running you can do to stay in the same place." Move over, Helena Bonham Carter. The thing is, your world building should also obey the Red Queen hypothesis, unless you want it to feel like it's frozen in amber. Static worlds feel fake, but evolving worlds are places where exciting stories can happen. As one thing claws its way forward, another pushes back. This isn't just true in biology, it's true across all areas of your world building. Sure, if one species grows tusks or horns, another grows armor. But also, if magic gets stronger, your politics will adapt to maintain the balance of power. If technology advances so people live longer and stay healthier, religion will find new ways to attract and appeal to believers, beyond divine healing and eternal rewards. In fact, in cyber defense theory, researchers explicitly use the term Red Queen effect to describe the evolution of malware. It's a never-ending game of one-upmanship. Every action has a counter-reaction. That's what makes your worlds breathe. So, how do you use the Red Queen hypothesis to enrich your world building? Of course, I've got a guide for you. So to start with, the Red Queen hypothesis is originally about biology, so use it to evolve your ecosystems. Give your creatures context by creating realistic defenses and weapons. If dragons hunt mammoths, mammoths grow armor, or they evolve to taste disgusting. You can keep track of these details in a species world-building article on World Anvil, and use a content tree to create a biomass period of who eats whom. Maybe you're not big into creature feature world building? Well, even urban settings have evolving creatures. Rats become immune to rat poison, and the European house spider, my personal nemesis, literally evolved to live in human houses. It would probably go extinct if we did. Might be worth it in my opinion. Just saying. These kinds of tiny details create internal logic, a complex web of cause and effect in your world building. And they also create a sense of history, making your world feel like it isn't just a construct of a moment, but something with depth and texture. And you can also bake the Red Queen hypothesis into your history and co-evolve your factions and organizations. Don't design your nations in isolation. Create rivals that react to one another. If one kingdom invents gunpowder, the other builds better walls, in an ever-cycling arms race. If one faction learns teleportation, another must figure out how to block it, or risk having the royal heir abducted. And yes, of course, World Anvil timelines are the best way to keep track of all of this. You can even make multiple lanes of simultaneous events to track cause and effect in your setting throughout time. Throughout the history of your world, every move can spark a counter-move, creating a dramatic, interconnected series of events as a backdrop for your stories and RPG campaigns. This level of richness will have your players and readers in awe, and it'll give you a ton of story ideas and options. You know, to me, the most unrealistic thing in science fiction and fantasy isn't the magic or the warp drives, it's the lack of innovation. I mean, are you seriously telling me that people with intellectual curiosity, like engineers and wizards, are happy to use the same old spells and tech century after century? By the way, this is one thing I love about Star Trek. Characters are always tweaking their tech, experimenting, and frequently causing plot points by doing so. When viewed through the frame of the Red Queen hypothesis, this is even more infuriating. Of course factions are going to try and iterate, adapt, and improve, even if it's just to show off. And of course other factions are going to try to copy or improve on those adaptations. So where is the world fair in your setting? Who's pushing the envelope? And how does the world respond? The Red Queen hypothesis is an observation about how our world actually works. And that makes it a valuable source of world-building inspiration. Because when we apply the same forces that shape the real world to our created ones, they feel more believable and more compelling. So next time you're world-building, take a moment to consider Lewis Carroll's Red Queen. Because change isn't chaos, it's life. And if you want more tricks to make your worlds more dynamic, join the community at World Anvil, where we help you build worlds that breathe. If you haven't already, go create a free account and start building your RPG campaign or novel setting right now. What are you waiting for? Grab your hammer and go world build.